So in the yesterday demo session, just I was briefing you about these things, right? Why Python? Who can learn Python? How it was built? Python real-time applications, comparison with other programming. So just let us have a quick review what we have discussed. It's a general purpose programming. Python is a general purpose programming. Any kind of applications we can develop, right? Like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, graphic applications, networking applications, desktop applications, right? Multi-programming features, right? Hybrid features we see in Python. See, what all the programming features we see, right? All the features we see with Python. And it's a high-level language. Looks like normal English statements, easily understandable. Can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Interpreted language means line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User friendly programming or programmer friendly programming, right? Which provides simple syntaxes. So Python is general purpose programming, multi programming features, high level language, interpreted and user friendly programming language. There are two types of languages. Low level and high level languages. Low level languages, they are not understandable. You cannot understand them. They are not portable. They cannot run on all the hardwares. They are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. But high level languages like Python, human understandable, they are portable and machine independent. They can run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Python as procedural oriented programming, object oriented programming features, scripting and modular programming features. So what Python has got? Procedural oriented, object oriented programming, scripting and modular programming features. As part of this course that I'll be discussing procedural oriented with Python, object oriented, scripting and modular programming, everything from the scratch ground level to the advanced level. So there is no prerequisites for learning Python that you need to have the knowledge on C or Java. Like no, without zero knowledge or non-programming or zero programming, you can just easily understand this Python statements. Look like normal English statements, right? Just like C or C++ or Java or Modular 3, we can develop many varieties of applications using Python. So previously, even though 30 years ago it was introduced, but Python has got a great boom, especially from the last 4 to 5 years, right? In the year 2010, or if you go back like 10 to 15 years, right? Java was that mostly used with 43% usage. In 2010, if you see, there most of you doesn't know that there was a programming language like Python because only 3% used it. But 10 years later, 2020, the usage of Python increased to 31%. So currently, Python is the number one ranked programming with many applications where we can develop many kinds of applications, right? So here Python has got great boom because of this modular programming. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for different environments, different domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python is giving a module for it, right? Python is going to provide a module for each and every. Okay. For data science, right? Okay. See, modules for data science, we have got separate modules like 10 to 15 modules we see for data science environment. Python is providing, right? Like NumPy, CP, Pandas, Matplotlib, Scikit-learn. So in this way, for data analysis, predictions, classifications, we use those models. Even for big data, for testing, for networking, Python is providing separate modules for every environment. For OS, the name of the module itself is OS, right? For different activities, OS activities, to create a directory, to remove a directory, to read the contents, to renaming, all this, right? These operations you can perform using OS. And if you want to connect with any database, Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server, right? Python is providing a module for each and every database, using which we can easily connect with the database and perform those operations. And for creating Excel workbook or Excel files, but just by writing Python code, you can create an Excel workbook or Excel file. Go and check in that location with whatever name you have specified, Excel workbook or Excel file is creating. And for we can create XML files, JSON files, right? XML files, JSON files, CSV files, and for mathematical operations. Okay. We can create Excel files, JSON files, CSV files, XML files, right? Yes. For each of these, we have got separate modules. For mathematical operations, we have got separate modules. For statistical operations, for generating graphs, any types of graphs we can generate using Python. Normal graphs, bar graphs, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, pie graphs, any types of graphs. It's very within just by writing 2-3 lines, right? Today in today's session, I'll just briefing you the sample snippets of Python, even some examples related to graphs also I'll discuss, right? Without zero knowledge of Python, you can easily understand this Python statements are code, right? Yes. Python real-time applications. What kind of applications we can develop today by using Python? So mostly like web applications can be developed, right? Using framework like Django framework at a rapid speed, you can develop web application. It has got many flexible features. It will create all the .py files required for your project. It has got its own database, SQLite 3. And for automation applications like that, using technologies like data science, IoT, robotics, where Python is the mostly preferred language for implementing this data science, machine learning, or deep learning, right? So for that to implement, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used programming, right? And even for IoT, 90% of the coding in Python. For data analytics, big data analytics, right? We have got Spark, very high speed processing implemented using Python, which is called like PySpark, right? And for scientific applications, right? We have got CP, scientific Python. For numerical analysis, NumPy, numerical Python. For graphical user interface or for animations. For graphical user interface or for animations, right? Yes, we have got TK inter module. For game development, we have got like Pygame, PyCora, and PySoy. For scheduling, tasks, for test cases, right? And for software development, software developers make use of Python as a support language. For business applications, Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce sites. And for database application where Python can connect with any database. And for network applications, Yes, for your general queries, yes, I'll be giving time at the end of the session. Sai Kiran, yes. For networking applications, we got Twisted Python, a separate framework itself. Python is providing for this networking set for web scraping, scraping the data or extracting data from different websites like Flipkart, Amazon, from all this. We have got separate modules. Python has got like URL lib module, BS4 module, right? And for audio and video applications, even Python can be used for developing audio and video applications in a framework, the Django framework. I'll be showing you how to work with, how to develop some audio and video applications also. CAD applications or 3D CAD applications. Computer design, right? A computer vision. Computer vision means for face detection, color detection, and for object detection, right? And for data analysis. And for desktop applications or single user applications, right? And who are using Python today? And topmost applications built using Python. Google using Python for its web search systems. Google is one of the best example of Python web application. Google web crawling was first written in Java. Later it was too difficult. It was rewritten in Python. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yahoo using Python. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Instagram built using Python. So the reason for Instagram choosing Python is Python hybrid features, its practicality, right? Quora, Reddit, Pinterest are developed using Python. Netflix, right? Okay. Netflix. So it is using Python. Netflix using Python for security, automation, and subscription related. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animation. BitTorrent using Python. Yes. iRobot for military and commercial applications. And for hardware testing purpose, right? IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these they use Python for hardware testing. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Very less coding we see in Python, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programmings. Simple syntaxes looks like normal English statements. Interactive mode. Interactive, we can easily interact with the Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response, right? Multi-programming features. Multi-programming features are hybrid features, right? So what all the features we see in different other programmings, we see all this in Python. Wide varieties of application, just now I was briefing you about this. And many built-in libraries, 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got from different domains, right? Yes. So these are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. And just I'll be discuss now I'll be just discussing about Python comparison. Coding wise, you can check how simple this Python statements as compared with other programmings. Just 1 second. Yes. Python comparison with other programming. People, especially who are from non-programming or zero programming, you can just understand this, right? For I'll be showing some examples. Without any knowledge, with zero knowledge, right? You can understand 100% this Python statements looks like normal English statements. Python comparison, right? Python comparison with other programming, right? I will take a task. I'll take a task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages. Accepting two values. Accepting two values from the user keyboard. Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition. Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition. And performing, okay. So first I'll try to write this code using Java. So two major programming languages, Java and Python, right? Used for enterprise applications creations. First, I'll write the code in Java. Later, the same code you can just check in Python how simple it looks. So if you've got knowledge in Java, you can just go to this code, import java.io.star. Every statement ends with semicolon, class sample. Yes, public static void main, right. Public static void main, string aux. Throws IO exception, IO exception. Throws IO exception, right. Input stream reader, input stream reader ISR equal to new input stream reader system dot in. Buffered reader BR equal to new buffered reader ISR, right? Yes. So system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println, right? Enter the first number, enter the first number, right? Yes. Buffer reader equal to new buffer reader, system dot out dot println, right? Yes. Enter the first number. String s1 equal to br dot read line. Enter the first number. Okay. Whatever number you are entering, right, is taken as string. Okay. Later I need to convert to integer by saying int I equal to integer dot percent. Integer dot percent of s1. Enter the second number, string s2. br dot readline string integer, right? Integer dot parse int of s2. Enter the first number, enter the second number. System dot out dot println I plus j. So here, this is the code in Java, right? Yes, this is the code in Java. Just I'll copy this code. Every statement ends with semicolon. Just I'll show you the execution in both Java and Python. You can just observe this. I'm taking a separate notepad file. Within this notepad, I'm just pasting it, save it. Then so I'm saving it as sample.java. Sample.java. I'm saving it as sample.java. Yes, saved. So go to this command prompt by typing cmd in the search. So in the search, type cmd. So cd slash, you can say, come out of this cd python 10 p.m. batch. Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Yes, say enter. And here you can say Java C, right, for compiling sample.java. If you got any errors, to display the errors here. If no errors, you can show no errors here. Is not displaying any errors. Java sample. Enter the first number 10, enter the second number 20, sum is 30. So this is what the code and execution in Java, right? So even you can use scanner classes for writing this. So here, if you see, what do you mean? So it looks little complex to understand, right? Without the basic knowledge of Java. So what is class? What is public static void main? What is ever exception? What is input stream reader? What is buffer reader? What is read line? What is integer dot parse int, right? Every statement we have got one complex word. So without the knowledge, basic knowledge, you cannot understand these statements, right? And that too, you can see the statements 10 to 12 lines of code. The same code or the same task I'll implement in Python, not more than 3 lines. Just you can understand this coding. This is the Python shell, right? This is the Python shell, right? File, new file. To just to add two numbers, right? I want two values, x and y values. Int of input, enter value of x. Int of input, enter value of y. Int of input, enter value of x. Int of input, enter value of y. Print x plus y. That's it. And inputting the value of x, inputting the value of y, x plus y. Do you see any complex word here? Just like normal, this is the coding in Python. For the same task, what we have seen, right, in Java, this is the code. not even 1/4 coding. And if we see the statements, looks like the normal English statements, right? Inputting the value of x, inputting the value of y, print x plus y. Test1.py, right? You can see this, enter value of x, you can enter. Then enter value of x, 20, sum is 30. Can easily understand, right? Looks like normal English statements. You won't see any complex statements. Some more examples I'll show you, right, to understand. So you can just check with this file, new file. Some more examples. Some values I'll take, random values. 50, 30, 10, 20. X equal to, yes, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yes, print x means prints the entire list as it is. Yes. Print len of x. Len of x means, yes, length of x means 5. Len of x means number of elements. I want to find the max element. Just say max of x, returns the max value. If I say min, no need to write coding here, directly we can say max or min, right? If I want the sum of all these 50 plus 30 plus 10 plus 20, right? Can just say sum. There is a built-in function called sum. Sum of x. Len of x 5, max of x is 50, min of x 10, sum of all these values, right? Print sorted of x. Sorted of x, arranging all these elements in a particular order. Sorted of x, arranging all these elements in a particular order. Okay, if you want all this, run a run module. So len is 5, max is 50, min is 10. Sum of all those values is 150. Sorted order means arranging in ascending order. Ten to 50. Max of x is 50, min of x is 10, sum of x means sum of all these values. Sorted of x means arranging all these values in ascending. If you want it descend, see this output once is printing, right? Len is 5, max, min, sum, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Print sorted of x, comma, reverse equal to true. Run module. Sorted of x means arranging all the elements in 10 to 50. 50 to 10, right? Yes. In descending order. This is in ascending, this is in descending. So how simple, right? We don't need to write any code for adding those elements to find the max. Here, if you got some more than 100 elements, if you want to find the sum or max element, min element, or sorted order, right? If I want to add a new element to which list? X list. We have got a method append what? 60. I'm appending a new element 60, print X. That's it. It prints them. If I want to remove X dot from the X list, remove X dot remove. X dot remove 40. Print X. $60, right? Adding 60 and removing 40 from this. So, and Python has got 89,300 inbuilt modules. What is a module and the importance of module? Just one example, right? So, a commonly used module, import a math module. You want to see what is present within the math module? Print a dir of math. Print a dir of math. Check it. Print a dir of math. It prints all the. So these are all the properties of this math. Sin h, square root, tan h, tau, right? There are some variables like e. There are some variables like pi. There are some, okay. If you want to print those values, yes, print within the math module, there is a variable like e. Print within the math module, there is a variable like pi. Print math dot e, print math dot pi. See what values it is trying to print. E value, pi value 3.14, e value 2.71. Math dot e value and math dot pi. Similarly, right, if you see, if the here you got a function square root, you don't know how to use it, how to work with the square root. So Python is going to help you. There is a help function, just like print function, we have got help function, right? Help on what? Within the math module. Math dot e, math dot pi, math dot sqrt. So I want help within the math module. I want help on this square root run module. Help on built-in function square root in module math. Square root expecting one value x returns the square root of x. So it is saying just to square root, you provide one value x, it returns the square root of that x. Math dot sqrt of 16. I provided value 16, right? Yes, it provides the square root of 16. The square root of 16 is 4. Okay. Next, if you want to help on any other particular function, right? We can just say help on it. So here, if you see any other function like POW is there. Help on math dot POW power function. So it just says how many values we need to provide and what is the output it is going to return. Help on built-in function power in module math. Power expecting two values returns x to the power of y. X to the power of y. It returns x to the power of y. Yes. Okay. So in this way, any function, you can just say help on it, help. Yes. So next, I'll just show you one example of one more module. How to generate a graph just by writing 2-3 lines. How can we generate a graph using Python? So do you see any complex word here in this, the previous math, import math, math dot e, math dot py, math dot square root, math dot power? Looks very simple statements, right? You won't see any complex word. In the same way, I want to generate a graph, a normal graph, a pie graph, a histogram, right? Yes, right? Yes, Python is case sensitive. Uppercase, lower cases are taken differently. If you write print in uppercase, it gives error. Import matplotlib. So for plottings and visualizations, we have got a module matplotlib. Within this, we have got a built-in property pyplot as alias. Instead of using this very big name always in our program code, instead of using this very big name in our program code like math, right? Here, alias name, shortcut name as P or PLT, you can say, right? So here I want to plot a graph. See how simple. PLT means I need to use that. Within that, I got a plot function. Plot function. To plot a graph, we require x coordinates and y coordinates. So here, x coordinate values I'm taking 1, 2, and 3. Y coordinate values I'm taking random values 5, 7, and 4. So based on these 3 x coordinates and these 3 y coordinates, a graph has to be generated, right? So just 3 lines, plt dot show, that's it. So here import the module, plot x and y coordinates based on the xy coordinates, a graph. Now check it, first save it, file, save. Y, right? Yes. Just check this, run, a graph generated like this. A graph generated in this way, right? You can check this graph for 1, 5, for 1, 5, for 2, 7, 2, 7, for 3, 4. Here 3, this value is 4, right? Yes. In this way, can we get this? Yes, yes, yes. Everyone, you will be getting the recorded video, right? Yes, every day you will be getting the record. Yesterday's video, you can see in the chart, they already pasted that link, right? So for the first 3-4 days, they'll be forwarding that YouTube video link, right? And that is every day they will upload in the YouTube. But after 4-5 days, directly you will be getting to your Google Drive, right? Yes. You'll be getting each and every video to your Google Drive once. Yes. Once the enrollment process is completed, you will be getting the recorded videos to your Google Drive. So graph is generated. For example, just I'm taking the same graph. See one more example, a small task. A small task. Later I discuss all this in brief. Still we didn't discuss anything about Python. We didn't discuss about any module, what is a module and what is matplotlib, anything. Just observe these Python statements. See, I've got some age values, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and 60 years, and their incomes are like this. For 30, 30,000. For 40, 40,000. For 50, it is 35,000. And for 60, it is 50,000. 30,000 for 40 and 50, it is 35, and for 60, it is 50,000. PLT dot show. Save it. For x coordinate values, y coordinate. So generate a graph. A graph is generated like this. You can see a solid, see, observe this. For 30 years, 30,000. For 40, 40,000. For 50, it is 35. For 60, it is 50,000. You got a solid graph in blue color, right? You got a solid graph in blue color, but I doesn't want solid graph. I want something like hyphen. I want some different color equal to green. Color equal to green. Yes. For 40, 40, 50. Okay, in this way, right? Yes. Run module. 30, 30,000, 40, 40,000, 50, 35. So you got a solid, this is dotted graph with the green color, right? How simple, just give, just what I did. Just to give here comma, hyphen, hyphen, and I have given color equal to green. And if you observe this output, right, just I'll take 5 minutes more. Yes, can you check here, right? Yes. Here 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 30,000, 35, 40, 45, 50, right? Fine. So here, what are these x coordinate values, y coordinate values? You want some label, right? Here, I want a label for x coordinate, for y coordinate, and for this title, right? I want it. So just very simple, plt dot x label, x axis label, what is that? Age. Plt dot y label, right? Y label, y axis label, income. X label is age, y axis label is income. Plt dot show. Run module. Age, income. I want a title for this. So plt dot title. So very simple, right? Do you see any complex word here? Plt dot title. Title is sample graph. Sample graph, right? Yes. And check this output. You will get the headings, x-axis label, y-axis label, age, income, title, and the graph is generated, right? Yes. Here, if you have given plot, but instead of plot, BAR, if you give bar graph. If I give HIST, histogram. If I give scatter, scatter plot, stack plot, right? So just observe one more, right? Just 2-3 minutes more I take. So import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Yes. So for example, I want to generate a pie graph. Think that mobile sales, the mobiles like Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, OnePlus, Vivo, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, OnePlus, and the sales of August are like this: 45, 10, 15, 30. Sales are like this. PLT dot plot. PLT plot means normal graph. PLT, I want a pie graph. PIE, pie function, right? You want a pie graph on sales of August. Sales of August. Comma, labels, mobiles, right? I want some labels, mobiles. That's it. PLT dot show. That's it. So just I want a pie graph of the say August sales, and labels I want the names as mobiles. Check it, run module. So you can see that Samsung has got more sales next to OnePlus, next to Oppo, next to Vivo, which colors automatically got the colors in this portion. If you want later some percentages, if you want to display what percent and many more things, right? We didn't discuss anything about this matplotlib or this. Still, do you see any complex statement or word here, right? One complex graph I'd show you, right? Even still, you will be able to understand it. A complex graph I'll show you, even that you will be able to understand, right? So just observe, I want a stack plot. Assume that you got 5 days of holidays. Within this 5 days of holidays, you want to just visualize a graph. How did you spend your time? So import matplotlib, sleeping, eating, working, and playing. Day one, 7 hours for sleeping, 2 hours for eating, 7 hours for working, 8 hours for playing. 8 plus 7, 15 plus 2, 17 plus 7, 24. Day two, like this. Day three, in this way. Day four, day five. PLT dot stack plot. Days as x coordinate. These four activities as y coordinates. And for these four activities, four colors. X-axis label days, y-axis labels hours. Title interesting work. So you can just check if stack plot is generated in this way with different colors, right? You see this day one. These are days. These are hours. This is the title of this graph. See the day one, first 7 hours for sleeping, 2 hours for eating, 7 hours for working, 8 hours for playing. Day two, sleeping increased, eating increased, working increased, playing decreased. Day three decreased, day four increased. Hours, days, night. So do you see any complex words here other than this activities, days, x-axis label, y-axis label, and show, right? In this way, not only graphs, not only math model, thousands of models we have got, we can just, we have got inbuilt functions for this, right? So yes. So in brief, in depth, we'll be discussing, I said, this is the core structure, Python basics, Python operations, operators in Python, IDEs, work integrated development environment, how to work with Anaconda distributions, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, right? Flow control statements, looping statements, strings, collections, Python lists, tuple sets, dictionaries, functions, modules, packages, errors and exceptions, file handling, OOPS concepts, regular expressions, database connectivity, Python date and time, OS module, advanced op concepts, graphic module, Excel workbook, and data analytics, introduction to data science, pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. So 30 topics in brief, in depth we'll be discussing for only Python who are just enrolling for Python. People who go for full stack, right? Framework of Python, Django, in brief, in depth, it will be discussed. There's 15 to 20 applications creations with REST API. And apart from this, UI technologies, web development technologies also will be, you will be given the knowledge on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? These things. So the offerings, you'll be getting the recorded video. You'll be getting the soft copy of the notes, assignments, and tasks. WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussions, right? And resume preparations. So here for only Python, right? Only Python, core advanced application oriented modules, like 70 hours I'm going to spend, means in depth, not like it's not 45 hours course, 70 hours, 2 months of time, 2 to 2.5 months it takes. It's a offer batch just for 5,000. Apart from this, Python who wants to go for full stack. Apart from this, web development UI technologies will be covered, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and apart from this, like Django framework, 15 to 20 applications creations plus one project. For all this, right, the fee structure, like 60 hours, the fee structure is 7,000 for this, but if you take as a package, full stack package, right, just you can pay 10K, right? If you're going separately, first Python, later you go for this, like 10, 5 and 7. Fine. Any queries from your side? What is the Django means? It's a framework of Python for web applications. If you want to know about that web development, web applications creations, you go for Django framework. It's a framework of Python. You want to conjugate Python with PySpark? Yes. So people, so PySpark and Python. Okay. I also deal with data, big data analytics, Hadoop and Spark. So people who wants to go for Python and PySpark. So as you are choosing two technologies, right? So you can just discuss with the front office. They'll provide you the discount if you go for PySpark, right? People, anyone who wants to go with PySpark, Spark with Python. So once again, I'll make it clear, right? And yesterday itself. So just to see Sangeeta, right? So the lambda first, it is the keyword of Python actually. By seeing Python, this Java has introduced that lambda expressions, right? So first that lambda, all these things you see in Python, later in the Java and the versions, it was introduced. Okay, so once again about the timing, right? So for the first 10 days or 2 weeks, the timing of this batch will be at 10 p.m. Once again, I'm repeatedly saying the first 10 days or 2 weeks will be at 10 p.m. Later, the batch timing will be at 9 p.m., 9 to 10. So before you go with the enrollment process, check this time, right? So for the first 10 days or 2 weeks, it will be at 10 o'clock. Later, it will be at 9 o'clock. Starts at 9 p.m. Yes, fine. Any other queries, right? Yes. So tomorrow also you can attend the session, right? Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session. Same time at 10 o'clock using the same link. Fine for everyone, right? Tomorrow attending the session because Ganesh Nimarjan is there. If you everyone fine, right? Or you want a break for tomorrow? So as the demo sessions, right? So instead of going with the break continuity, okay, if you miss the session, you can just go with the recorded video, right? Tomorrow we'll have a session at 10 o'clock. Same 10 o'clock using the same link, right? Yes, where can I get the information about fees, cost structure? I couldn't see. Sorry for, okay. So, okay, you can see in the chart panel, they already posted. If you go up, you move the chart panel up, the payment details and the process is provided, right? So for Python, only 5,000 is the course fee. And for total full stack, it is 10,000. The contact details are provided. You can just contact them. Fine. But once you do the payment, don't forget to share the screenshot of your payment. There is a mail ID given, right? To that mail ID, forward the screenshot of your payment. Then only they can forward you the slip. Okay. Yes.
Any fast track analysis?
So
Hello.
yes. So once again, fast track people who wants to go fast means it is taking 2 months for this Python, 2 months for this full stack. If you want to complete total everything in 2 months, right? So Monday to Friday you can attend Python. Saturday and Sunday there are some weekend batches for this Django framework, UI technologies.
Only for core and advanced Python.
Only for core and advanced. If you want to go for fast track, right? You can just after the enrollment process, if you just anyhow you will be kept in that WhatsApp group, right? Where you can see my directly you can contact me. So people who wants to go for fast track, you need to spend means you will be attending multiple batches. This batch and another batch also will be attending. So daily you
Sure.
need to attend 2 hours, right? If you want fast track, right? I'll just intimate you need to go with two batches, two topics per day. Yes. But what happens is same thing, but you will be spending more time if you want to fast. Yes. Can we get laptop? So okay, you'll be getting you'll use yes, I said I'll be showing you an Anaconda distributions, PyCharm, professional and community and Anaconda distributions, Jupyter, Jupyter, Spider ID, Eclipse, NetBeans, VS Code, all this I'll be discussing, right? I'll be showing. Yes. So tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 10 o'clock using the same link to see more on this, right? Yes. Yeah. Still, if you have got queries, you can ask me in the tomorrow session. From tomorrow, we are going to start with the batch, right?
Classes will be
So
on Saturday also.
Monday to Friday only, but only sometimes on Saturdays I'll be taking, not all Saturdays. Monday to Friday only.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can I get Python with SpicePark recording video?
Recorded video, demo video you want?
Yes, yes, means full course of the recording video.
Yes, yes, you can just, the contact details are given, right? If you contact them, they will just provide you those things.
Okay, okay.
The videos, everything they'll be forwarding, right? Only regarding notes, I'll be forwarding to you. Fine. So, okay, still, if you have got queries, you can ask in the tomorrow session. From tomorrow, we are going to start with this batch. So the installation of Python, execution modes, the other things we'll be discussing in the tomorrow session. So, yes. So I'm stopping for now. We will continue tomorrow, more discussion. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also you can attend more. You can attend these sessions freely, right? Free. You can check how these training sessions, and as the demo session I was speaking most of the time, but in the normal session you will be just interacting with me, right? For every statement I type, you will be responding what will be the output, right? For every statement you are going to give a response for what will be the expected output, right? Fine. Okay. Any other query? Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How that means Python is used in web development, like JavaScript we used?
See, 1 second. See here, you have got web page is there, Python and database is there. On the web page, for example, if you are filling a form and whenever you click submit, Python takes the data and will store that in the database. Tomorrow, if you want to retrieve the data, again, Python should take the data from that and should display on the web page. If you want to design the web page, if you want to present something on the web page, we require technologies like HTML, CSS, and even JavaScript. Some kind of dynamism will be applied with using JavaScript, right? So Python is going to perform all that business logics, total business logic implementations. You'll be writing the code, right? In this. So we call this MVT architecture, model view template. Models database, views means Python views template. So everything I'll be discussing right in a step-by-step manner, all this architecture, other things. Right.
Actually, it interacts with the middleware, like. Hello.
Yes.
It used to means interact with middleware, like APIs, connect APIs.
Yes, yes. So I'll be discussing those, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So I'm stopping here. From tomorrow, we are going to start with the actual, right? Yesterday and today, I was briefing you about Python. Tomorrow, just I'll be going with the basics, right? In Python versions, Python installations, execution modes of Python, right? The other things. Okay. So I'm stopping here. Yes. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow. Good night.